Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Loyalty Expert webinar on Next Generation Loyalty Programs 2023. I hope you all are as excited as we are. We will be starting in few minutes. Before we start, there are some pointers we would like to discuss. The webinar will last around 45 minutes, where we will discuss the glimpse of future of loyalty programs. You can drop your questions in the chat window. We will try and answer all the questions and queries by the end of the webinar. I would like to request everyone to be on mute throughout the webinar. Now I would like to hand over to our speakers, Mr. Ajay Parikh and Mr. Kushal Fadia.
I thank you for taking out your time to spend with us in terms of understanding the current loyalty programs and what is the future has in store for us. Before I start, I think it's important that I should introduce myself. I have been a working professional for last more than 30 years. I started my career in hardcore sales in the field, direct selling and indirect selling through channels. And over these 30 years, I picked up a lot of experiences in my work experience. And when we started Loyalty Expert in somewhere around 2017, all these experiences came in handy in terms of defining and working out on an effective program which can last for future so that it is dynamic and changes with the time. I am helped with my colleague Kushal Fadia, who is there with us. I would request Kushal to just give a brief introduction about himself. Yes, Kushal.
Yeah, so I'm working as a project manager in the technical team. I'm having the very technical background. I worked as a developer, team leader, and the project manager. Also, I have worked with many big companies for their loyalty solution, helping them integrate their loyalty program, and also helping them to get the reports effectively from this program so that this program can run successfully for them and they can get some ROI from this program. Yeah. Yes, over to you.
Thanks, Kushal. So moving on with our agenda today. A brief note on about what is Loyalty Expert. Like I said, Loyalty Expert was launched in 2017 and the parent company is Ecosmop Technologies Private Limited, which is 15 plus years since its inception. This program is nothing but a one-stop solution as a state-of-the-art digital channel engagement, sales management, and loyalty program all combined into one solution. Fully customized to businesses in any domain, whether manufacturing or services. The platform has been growing with updated and evolved functionalities, and still we are keeping on making it richer month by month, year by year, by adding more and more contemporary functionalities in this thing. Introductions we have already shared, so we now move on to the agenda. What we have tried and covered is to start with a generic understanding of loyalty programs, how they have been running through the past. We will touch upon certain few important KPIs to help you people measure how loyalty program success is performing. We will also touch upon a factor which is very important to all the business owners out there is the ROI factor. Whatever investments and costs we are incurring in loyalty, ultimately what is the return my business is getting into it, most importantly. Other things we will touch upon is important factors. How do you define success of modern loyalty programs? While we are continuing with a lot of loyalty programs, but it makes sense stopping for a while and understanding, is it really taking this business somewhere? We will then go on to the future shape of the loyalty programs as to what is in store. How do we foresee out of our experience that these loyalty programs will evolve in the future and what will be the challenges? Currently, we'll also touch upon the challenges for traditional businesses who are not so tech savvy in terms of digital technologies, that they have been slower in terms of adopting the digital technologies. Now, just to take a glimpse of what is a typical loyalty program. As a layman's understanding, we understand it's a sales and marketing strategy basically to motivate or energize your existing customers to continuously use company's product or service. If I have to share some example, if I go in the past, in my earlier days, we used to see companies offering freebies, companies offering rewards in exchange of wrappers of the products. I still remember there was one detergent company who used to announce that if you open the bag, you might find a gold coin inside the bag. So these used to be the motivators for customers to go and buy those products. In these kind of loyalties, the main objective of these companies was perhaps to get repeat business from the same customers again and again. Because of the fact we all know that repeat business comes with a lower cost of sales compared to the efforts being deployed for new businesses or for new clients. Over a period of time, the companies started innovating, started differentiating with different kinds of rewards, different kind of services, and the loyalty programs were further divided into different types, like what we understand today: point-based, tier-based, omni-channel programs, B2B programs, B2C programs. The program approach, mainly the differentiator could be a product centric or customer centric. These are the broad level differentiations we have seen in today's market. But yes, over this period of time, in the last 10 years, we have seen the buzzword picking up the momentum. And now, out of every 10 companies, 7 companies, we see that they are very, very open and aggressive about and thinking and concerned about what should be the loyalty program and how we should plan it. A quick look at the traditional loyalty programs we have always been experiencing. Like I said, the sole objective of most of these programs was customer retention and increase repeat purchase. Many such programs did not have structured data acquisition and analysis process defined. It was basically customers come in, they buy the product, they will get the reward, and we assume that the customers will come back again. Most of the time, the choice in rewards were limited. Companies will decide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever kind of rewards, and customers will have to choose out of those rewards. Mostly the rewards were in the form of freebies, maybe memberships into certain programs, point payments of loyalty programs. Mostly, I remember companies like Shoppers Stop, the Central Mall, the Pantaloons, they started issuing loyalty cards. So whenever you go and purchase, your purchase transaction gets recorded in the loyalty card account, and based on your point balance, you will have a discount available on your future purchase. But yes, one of these requirements was that you have to carry your card along with that. One aspect we have experienced is that these kind of loyalty programs, the traditional ones, were very low on active customer engagement. The only engagement the customer sees is when he actually goes and transacts the business. Once the transaction is over, there's hardly any interaction with the customer. Of late, we are seeing certain emails dropping in your email box, wherein it's most of the time it's just a communication or announcement of certain new product or certain new scheme, or they are forcing you to come back again, but nothing beyond that. And in many people's experience that people have shared, it's not being so effective in terms of engaging the customer. Furthermore, there are complicated redemption processes, often made such loyalty programs redundant. One example I would like to cite is in one of these cases, I was awarded a free holiday in a resort for 2 nights, 3 days. Now, I was very happy and excited when I got the reward. But when I went on to redeem the same thing with that organization, I was stunned by the way that I should have applied for 3 months in advance for the booking, and then secondly the bookings will be made subject to availability, and there are certain additional costs and things like that. So it all amounted to be a non-starter for me. So it didn't take time for me to just drop that proposal of that company's program. And I'm sure similar experiences people have got with similar kind of programs. And from the business point of view, the ROI calculations much complicated. First of all, I don't see, we have in our experience, we don't see many companies are actually doing the ROI calculations. Of late, we have seen some companies really concerned about it, and they have brought this point out that when we are spending so much of money in operationalizing the loyalty or rewarding the customers beyond our margins, so how do we calculate the return on investment? Whether it makes sense for us to continue with these loyalty programs, or how is it helping my business? So when coming to these calculations, we don't have enough data from the traditional programs where we can establish that whether we are doing good, better, or best, or is there any concern area. Having said that, it is now moving us to the how do we, whatever the issues we are having in the traditional programs, how do we resolve them? So there comes the modern stage loyalty programs. And the first and foremost, which is coming in the modern age programs, is they are purely objective driven, like product specific, cross selling, market share, segment specific, etc. For any company who wants to launch a loyalty program, one single question needs to be asked: why are you launching the loyalty program? What exactly you want to achieve? It could be one objective, it could be a number of objectives. It could be a product specific gain, it could be a geographic area specific market share, it could be an engagement process, it could be your future product strategy, it could be anything. I would say, as many companies, there will be as many objectives. This is not something which is a copycat based program that if one company is driving this, let me also drive that. Unless the strengths and weaknesses of those businesses are similar. Coming to customized loyalty programs, that's a need of the hour now. That one size fit all concept is not working at all in loyalty programs. Amounting to that, even after the launch of loyalty, companies are blocked by only few users who are using the program, and the whole objective of the program is lost. Because when the company started, they expected that the participation level could be 5,000 or 10,000 users. But surprisingly, the number of users do not extend beyond a few thousand. And the companies are struggling as to why is this. So there comes this idea, because everyone doesn't like a fixed set of norms that you fix up for loyalty. So customer loyalty programs are here to stay, and they will go a long way in defining the program success. Digital loyalty program is a big boon in this case, because all those issues which we shared in the traditional programs, digital loyalty programs are very, very effective in addressing all those complex issues. I would request my colleague Kushal, who has been a big help for us in defining and refining the program to the extent that whatever the customer is asking, are we able to provide that through the digital loyalty program? And what are the advantages of digital loyalty program? So Kushal, why don't you share your views on that?
Sure. Okay. So basically, now what trend is everything about the digital. Like from old system to keep one card and load the points in that, now people are moved towards the mobile app, like Paytm wallet and many other things are there, e-wallet kind of things. So same way, we have the loyalty program through the mobile application where customer will get registered. They can see their transactions. They can see the all the entries, credit, debit entries. What are the options available? What are the gamification type of thing to keep your customers engaged? It is not like that. Just give the points and redeem the points. It is beyond that, and you have to keep your customer engaged through this digital platform. But if you will go with the traditional way, like provide the card, as Ajay mentioned, like provide the card, you can't keep the engage. It is, you cannot force them to come to your store and redeem now. So through this digital platform, you can send some notifications, SMS, like or WhatsApp messages to for the offers, provide some points and attract them to come to our store or purchase our products and increase the sales. So that is the way we can use the digital platform. And increase your revenue. That is the main benefit of the modern loyalty program. Yes, Ajay.
Thanks, Kushal. And just to add what Kushal has said, digital programs also offer you a flexibility of going beyond boundaries, places where you cannot reach physically. I mean, because it's through the internet, so Play Store is there, so he directly downloads the program from the Play Store. Only thing you need to establish is your product's availability should be there in those geographies. Digital programs further also give us the flexibility of reward and redemption plans. This is the challenge in today's loyalty program, that people have become very choosy. They don't seem to accept one standard award or one standard plan that is being given to them. They need a multiple choice. If you see today the tariff plans of telecom companies, when I'm going to recharge, I cannot even count how many options I have for recharge. There's a recharge for top up, there's a recharge for validity, there's a recharge for data separately. There are small packs, big packs. So you can understand the kind of diversity that customer choice is having. So when the whole industry is moving in that direction, how loyalty can be remaining backside behind. So this digital platform is also being used for customizing and giving highly differential reward and redemption plans. One big advantage in reward through online is optimized operational cost. Nowadays, it's becoming very popular, and example is your credit card reward program. I am one strong and loyal user for credit card loyalty programs, and my yearly shoppings are all based on loyalty plans. I whatever points I achieve in my credit card, I decide which coupon I take, which shop I go, and my lifestyle shopping. Everything is happening through those online rewards. And you can understand what is the process. I go to the store, I select my stuff, I go to the billing counter, and it tells me the amount. I go to my loyalty account, I redeem my points equal to the value of the bill, and within minutes, I get the voucher code, and the guy is just scanning the code, and my bill is cleared. So without spending a single rupee, you can understand I am buying stuff for 50,000, 30,000, 40,000, and with what ease you can see this. So this is so I'm in my view I'm never going to go away from that credit card in my life till such time I get something better than this. So these are the typical examples of options of online rewards. Another most interesting part is the backend part. I don't know how many companies are so serious about analyzing the data in the background, but this is one area we encourage companies to look into it very, very closely, because this is going to help to ensure that the program is going in the right direction and the company is achieving the highest ROI on whatever plans they did for the loyalty program. To get some more highlights on the data, I would invite Kushal's views also, because most of the times he has been a help for us in terms of churning out reports, different kinds of data reports that the customers are asking. Yeah, Kushal, what has been your experience?
So basically, see, for the data statistics mainly, it is like from where you are getting how much revenue about the product, which product is running in the market, in which region it is running, and where we have to improve. So all this stuff are necessary to get this data. Otherwise, if you will just run the loyalty program and you will not analyze your data, then it is no use of it. So the main thing is, let's see from which region it's coming, what should be your next target. Same way, like let's say after one financial year, what should be my target for the next financial year, and how should I set that target? It should be based on my past data. So for that, loyalty program will help you, that you have this data in this region, this state, or this city, you have this much revenue or this much sale. Now you have to focus in this region or on this product. Same way, whenever you are coming up with a new product launching, you have some historical data through which you can make the new product launch in the better way. So this is the best way for the analysis part, and based on these statistics, you can define your schemes very effectively, which will attract more customers to take part or take interest in your loyalty program.
So this, thanks, Kushal. This will also help in terms of a very easy way of getting into the ROI calculations. And this can be done on an ongoing basis. You can have a quarterly analysis, you can have a 6 monthly analysis, and you can see the trend line moving up or down. And accordingly, we can keep on correcting wherever we are going wrong. This has been a major advantage in the modern day loyalty programs. Coming to the KPIs, how do you measure a loyalty program is success or not? I still wonder how many companies will actively be getting into this exercise on a regular manner. The first and foremost, the program enrollment rate. How many users have you enrolled in your program? If the number of users is static, the companies need to think out of the box and see as to how we can increase the rate. Because if at all, if it is not amounting to the business or revenues that you expected. Second is, even after enrollment, how many users are active? Just getting enrollment does not serve the purpose. How many are actively using the program? How many are purchasing on a repeat basis? How many people buy once in a month or twice in a month, and how many people buy 5 times in a month? So these are the actual KPIs which will tell you as to do you have a sizable number of users who are definitely getting into the trend what you expected initially when you launched the program. The average spend per member can easily be counted as to how much cost you are spending on these members. The reward redemption rate. Many times you have given the redemption, but people are not redeeming. Now, some companies may feel that they have saved money on the cost, but ideally, it is a very serious thing. It is not good because you gave away that reward money for people to use it so that they become motivated. Now, something is wrong. Either it is not motivating your customer, or he is finding the process too very complex. So something needs to be done over there. So when you measure the KPI, if you find a concern in the reward redemption rate, people need to get into the details of that and check what is going wrong. Percentage of sales from members, very important factor. If the company is doing 100 crores worth of business across the channels, and if the the business coming through the loyalty program is only 10 crores or maybe 15 crores, so it will give you a trend as to what percentage of people are going to stay with you forever. So if this percentage is low for your business calculations, again, action plan needs to be drawn as to how do we increase this rate from here to, let's say, the target 20% or 30%. Customer retention rate. How many customers stay with your system? There are trends of people, very high transaction people in the first 3 months, but in the following 3 months, the transaction rate drops. Now, if you don't have an eye on these kind of data, you will lose out on the biggest detail because it's a kind of a loss situation for the business. He may have gone to a different brand without really letting you know as to what is the reason for that. So these are certain important factors which businesses should get into details. The business revenue booked is very easy to find based on the transactions, and you can see that how the revenue is growing. Is it growing as per your plans or not? Based on that, we can go for corrections in the program. The factors defining success of modern loyalty program as to what are the key basis on which the loyalty programs are supposed to give you the success. The first we discussed earlier also. The reward choice is relevant to the user profile and their aspirations. Gone are the days when you decide one standard set of rewards for the target group. Today, you will have to have more and more differentiation in your loyalty program, and of course, with ease of operating the same. Easy to understand UI UX. Now, this UI UX is a technical term, which is nothing but user experience and user interface. Kushal would have a fair experience on how UI and UX affect the overall success of loyalty program. Yes, Kushal.
Yeah. So basically, user interface and user experience, UI UX. See, many programs I have seen where they have developed the application or the website for their customers for the loyalty program, but it is very hard to understand the people from where to navigate, how to track the points, see the transactions, and how to redeem the points, how to see the reward catalogs. So those are very complex things, and generally people will lose the interest. UI UX part is also that much important as like your reward catalogs. So if your user interface is not that much interactive or easy to understand, people will lose the interest. And a main thing is that it is not necessary that in your loyalty program, every time the tech savvy people are engaging. It may happen that some people who are engaging, they are not that much technically able to understand your program. So, whatever the design you are creating, or the application, mobile application, or the web, it should be very easy for the end user to understand. And don't ever try to, we should not put it like on a single language. We should provide the multiple languages support as well. As much languages we can provide for the regional peoples as well. So they will feel like for their own app, they can use it, play with it, and they will keep engaged with the company. That is the main intention through which you can use your UI UX very easily. Yes.
Thanks, Vishal. Now, one thing I would like to touch upon here is that just by having a loyalty program doesn't make your objectives achieved. And we have seen it in many experiences, different organizations, that they have launched the loyalty programs, but still they are highly concerned as to it's not doing right, something is not doing right. There could be an issue on the user base, not enough people on board. There could be issue in terms of people having on board but not doing transaction, not repeating the transaction, not redeeming the rewards, allowing the points to be lapsed. Now, all these symptoms, they have an underlying reason. So, which is bringing us to the most relevant part in today's current day loyalty programs and also the future programs. The loyalty programs will not run the same way as they used to do it earlier. There's a sea change in terms of business scenarios on the ground, with internet proliferating at such a high level, transparency increasing. People are becoming more and more aware about the options available in the market. So the businesses need to be much more smarter. And first of all, there need to be a proper thought out strategy, even when launching the loyalty program. Like I earlier also mentioned, what is the objective, what are the different smaller objectives, what are the key milestones, and how do we monitor these milestones, and how do we keep correcting the loyalty program. It will not be the case that you launch a loyalty program now and it will continue for next 5 years. Maybe 6 months down the line, you will have to change the program to adjust to the market requirements. Competition is becoming very, very fast and very, very quick, and you need to respond to that competition quickly. You do not have much time. So these are certain things, and yes, the organization needs to team up with the different teams in the organization to support the loyalty program. It's not just a baby of marketing department to launch a loyalty program and then get the businesses. The sales people, the finance people, the logistics, the business owners, everyone is equally responsible to ensure the success of loyalty program, and which we always encourage our users to get into this. And you need an expert guidance. If it is not available within the team, you will have to have an expert guidance as to how do you do that. Maybe for initially 3 months or 6 months, by the time the team develops the competence of how effectively to use the loyalty programs. Moving further, helpline support 24/7 is a hygiene factor. No program can work without a support. And support, when I say, not a chat support or not a web chat support, but a hardcore interactive support on a telephone call. Indian customers are very, very sensitive. And we have seen that if they don't have a voice communication, they will leave the program, because it's difficult for a large set of users to understand the chat algorithms, and understand, because chat algorithms always preset. You have got 4 options if you have concern, but your concern is not always within the 4 options. So what do you do next? So when customers don't find the answers, they leave the program, they leave the company, as simple as that. So this one is very important. Helpline support should be there. Quick user issue resolution. If the user has raised an issue, whatever kind, it could be a product performance, it could be a relationship based issue, it could be a channel based issue, whatever issue. Somebody from the back end has to take a note of that issue and resolve those issues. If you don't do it, the purpose of loyalty is lost. Even if you are offering best of rewards, if your issue resolution is not in place, people do not appreciate this. Because one thing is very clear in Indian market, people operate at emotional levels when they connect with the brand. If emotionally he's tied up with your brand, even if our product is costing higher, he doesn't mind. But you may be supplying a product at a much lower price, but if you are not handling his issue, he will take just a second to leave the company. This we have seen in terms of telecom users. When in the earlier days when there was 16 rupees a minute kind of a tariff plan, and if the customer services was right, people never used to leave the network. But the moment he complained and his phone was not reconnected in time, he took a second to drop his connection and move on to the competition. So user issue resolution is that important. Another important thing is somebody needs to continuously check the user trends and behaviors on the platform. When you have so many users connected on the platform, somebody should be able to view this. It's like putting a CCTV in and around your campus. But if there's nobody is ready to see those cameras on an ongoing basis, you will never notice anything till such time a big disaster has happened. So now you can only do a reactive behavior. You can only go in the past and see what has happened wrong. But probably if there was a continuous observation, you could have stopped these behaviors. I know of one example when I was personally involved in a banking project where we started offering the proactive remote surveillance solutions. We set up a call center and we were actively monitoring the ATMs, and the guy sitting on the call center was constantly observing the pop-up camera and seeing what the customer is doing in the ATM, what is he not doing, and if his behavior is suspected that he is trying to do something wrong, immediately there was a phone line. We used to contact the nearest police station, alert the nearest branch, and we averted that possible disaster which was going to happen. So these are certain things which gives us confidence that user trends and behaviors needs to be watched. Otherwise, it will not give the kind of success that we are expecting. The referral program is, yes, they are here to stay for long. But the referral programs are also highly misused. We have seen in a lot of ways. When you start offering incentives for referring a guy, people are only focused on short-term gains, which is the reward, and they will refer to any and every kind of person. So referral programs also need to be carefully designed, which should not be complicated, and it should be welcoming the people to add on more referrals. But yes, we need to control the wrong referrals that come into the system just for getting the gain out of the referral program. So this is also one important aspect needs to be carefully dealt with. The data which is generated on the system, the granularity of the data is very, very important. If we do not capture that, some of the strategic analysis cannot be done in absence of those data. So this and that depends on business to business. Perhaps in some service industry, the data will be set of data will be different. In the product industry, the data will be different. But yes, the businesses need to be clear as to what exact granular data we need to have at any point of time to analyze the program success. Coming to the next generation loyalty programs, as to where do we go from here? Actually, we are today sitting at a very, very critical juncture. Internet is proliferating. We have started with 2G, 3G, 4G, and now 5G. Now we are talking of products talking to each other. And slowly, the technology is taking over the human aspect. At the same time, the issues being faced by businesses is shortage of resource, shortage of qualified manpower resource. Earlier days, companies used to manage businesses through large set of feet on street in every different market. Today, the scenario is reversed. We don't have, first of all, the businesses cannot afford that kind of a cost. Secondly, the margins are so less that you cannot afford a large set of team members. Number three, the transparency and the awareness has increased to the highest extent that today we don't need to go and communicate to the far off channel partner in terms of what is my product and what this product can do. There are better ways of connecting with him. So all this now taking us to the next level of digital programs, what it will be. So first of all, digital programs are here to stay, and still we are not at a healthy level of digital programs. Still, a lot of companies are resorting to things like they put rupee coupons or tokens inside the product. When the buyer buys the product, he goes to the retailer, he exchanges the token with a value. The retailer will then compile a report, a monthly report, how many tokens he has received. He will submit the physical tokens to the company, and the company will settle his bills after removing all the queries. So now this kind of system, there's a lot of logistics, there's a lot of manual intervention, and there's a lot of possibility of fraud. Fraud in the sense that if I get 10,000 coupons worth of loyalty from the market, I simply ask the customer as to who is going to count these 10,000 coupons. The owners cannot count. You are going to award it to somebody down the line, and this is not a one-time feature. It's a month on month, week on week, these transactions are happening. So how do you ensure that the accuracy is there in terms of whatever money you're spending is the same way? Number one. Number two, how do you ensure that the money which was meant to be for the last mile user is actually going to the user? Something similar to what our government has done when they started a direct benefit scheme in subsidies. We used to have a serious problem. The subsidies coming from the government departments did not reach the actual user in a way that was expected. The only solution was digital. Today, with so many bank accounts opened, the subsidies are directly deposited in the bank. So one thing is very clear that we have removed all those possibilities. Same thing applies for loyalty programs as well. When you have a large set of users out in the field in different geographies, there's no other way you can control except that you will have to get onto digital programs to stop this waste. Next part is loyalty programs initially were operating in silos. Perhaps only the marketing department was concerned with loyalty programs. Sales was not so much involved. But now loyalty is becoming more and more intrinsic part of sales and marketing process. Companies over a period of time will not be able to think business without a proper loyalty engagement program. And when I say loyalty, one essential part needs to be added to that is the engagement program. Engagement is today of prime importance. Without engagement, you cannot achieve anything, whether it is employee engagement or channel engagement or customer engagement. Engagement is here to stay, and that will one factor will define how your businesses will perform. So in a way, this will become a hygiene factor for businesses. Today, we are looking at a lot of organizations who come for loyalty program just because they don't have such a program and others are doing it. So it's a matter of benchmarking against the competition. Now, if you don't do, you are left out. And now the customers are demanding that some XYZ company is doing, why is not your company not doing? But here again, I will insist that the company should think beyond this point. Yes, you should do the loyalty program, but there has to be a specific purpose and objective behind your loyalty program. Because your purpose and objective could not be the same compared to the other company. So here you need an expert guidance in terms of how do you launch this program or how do you devise the whole program. Next in future, which currently we are not seeing so much in action, but very soon it will become a part and parcel of this program, is AI powered digital programs. Very, very interesting aspect of the future loyalty programs. I'm sure Kushal will have enough inputs for us to make us aware on what is the AI power and how is going to help us with these kind of AI-driven loyalty programs. Yes, Prashant.
Yeah, so currently everyone is aware like artificial intelligence is kind of a necessary thing or necessary feature in each and every solution. So in our program also we have introduced this part. How it is working? It is like as I mentioned, you have the data and based on the data you will take the decision that I have in the last quarter my sale was down in let's say one of the region, so now I will put more focus on that region and in the next quarter I will try to achieve that. But what if system will tell you that in this quarter this may go wrong in this region or in this particular city? Focus on that. So that is the power of AI. It will help you to prevent some loss. You can take the necessary actions before some disaster happen, and that is the power of this AI. Same way, it is not to take the decision, it will help you to it will help you to prevent the fraud transactions as well. Let's say if someone is doing multiple transactions, somehow he cracks the system or he is misbehaving with the system. So system will tell you that here something is going wrong, prevent it and stop it.
So what you're saying is any abnormal trend, the AI will
Correct.
capture very easily.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, you don't you in a large platform you can't measure one transaction manually. It is almost impossible. And for the bigger company, it is almost impossible to find such loopholes. So at that time, the AI is very useful to find such transactions.
And yes, just to add to this, if companies are not having enough availability of resources or time to spend on continuous monitoring of programs, I think AI programs will come as a help in those cases. There's some forecasting which you used to derive manually or out of analyzing the data, AI will do it automatically for you. So whatever is your wish list, every day when you open the dashboard, you can see the trends changing between yesterday and today. So today's trend, what does it say? And the next 3 days, how does it look like? And very, very interesting part for the sales heads or the business heads, that when they sit with the sales team, they expect what business are we expecting in this month. So this system will anyway give you a base level figure as to this much you can expect as per the existing trend. So if your expected target is going on a higher or lower side, you may do the corrections with the team and focus only on those activities rather than asking the team as to what are we looking at this period, this part of the month. So yes, it will be very, very interesting to see. And AI, as I understand, is a self generative tool. With over a period of time, it improvises a lot and the accuracy increases, just like our weather forecast, for example. Weather forecast is normally an AI powered program. There's no manual intervention when they say that the temperature is going to stay like this for next 3 days. So we are expecting these technologies to get into the loyalty programs. Very, very interesting part. Customization and flexible programs will be the order of the day. Every customer will demand, every business will demand, every channel will demand that I need a different set of rules, I need a different set of rewards because I am different as a channel entity or I am different as a consumer. So this is going to be staying, and programs which will offer this diversity and flexibility will be much more helpful for the companies to use. And like I said, program with highest ease of participation. With so much of flexibility is built, but the program operation cannot be complicated. Otherwise, it will become a non-starter. So the programs will have to have the highest ease for participation. I am told that very soon the airport entries will become automated through face recognition. So if you are registered once, you don't have to pass through those cumbersome security checks when you enter the airport. Everywhere, once your face is recognized, it's an easy passage. I mean, coming to think of it, it's such a strong advantage for users. So these kind of technologies will also become part of the next generation loyalty programs. Very, very interesting part. There's a sizable chunk of business today which is not so active in using these loyalty programs to the way it is supposed to be. And we started analyzing as to why is that these businesses are not using the loyalty program, what are the issues and what are the hurdles. So after brainstorming a lot of times, we come out with these six important factors which is holding these businesses to move forward. Number one, there is no clear purpose or vision for the businesses defined properly. In fact, when in one of the MNCs I used to work, we assembled as a team, and it was a new company just launched. It was a joint venture company, and the team got together to design or to devise the purpose, a vision, mission statement for the company as to why we are in the business, what we are going to achieve in the next 5 years or next 10 years. This is one main thing which is very, very important for businesses to establish. And this will set up the ball rolling in terms of what exactly the businesses need to do. Because if you don't have this vision, anything and everything that you plan in future may or may not match with your vision. And sometimes it may just be an impulsive decision that you take and you incur cost on that. Sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work, but there is no guarantee of success. But yes, if you have a clear purpose and vision, it will be a much more professional way that you will be designing programs. So this one aspect, companies need to upgrade their resources within the teams, or they should hire an outside resource who can help them to get onto this kind of purpose and vision. Digital technology adoption, while we are looking at internet and the big companies are already into it, but there's a large number of businesses, especially in the SME and MSME categories, which are way behind in digital technology adoption, so much so that many companies do not even have a website. And they are still doing crores and crores of revenue every year. And today they are struggling to protect the market share. Only reason is the other brands are eating up into the market share, and they are very fast to act in the field, and they're very quick in taking action. And these companies are falling back. And sooner or later they have realized that it's sooner the better. They need to get into the digital technology adoption. Simple fact, margins are not the same as earlier. To earn the same amount of profit, they have to do 10 times the volume, and they have to spread the business that way. And managing the spread is not easy without a digital technology adoption. So this one thing comes to the mind. The third is the digital competency in the team. That's a lot many times there are apprehensions and doubts from the team members because they are not comfortable with their digital domain. So always there is a tendency of discarding that proposal as to why we should get into this. What is happening is good. The way it is happening, let it continue like that. But if you look at a picture from the larger perspective, this is not going to help for a long time. Maybe for a short time it may not affect, but on a longer horizon, the businesses will get the impact. Competitive benchmarking, very, very important. If people around you are doing that, and if you don't do, obviously the businesses are not going the right way. And very soon they will realize that they should have done this long back. So, and for people who are serious about staying in the business and they want to grow with an aggressive plans, they have to get into competitive benchmarking sooner or later. Very important factor in Indian context, cost versus investment. The people are very much tuned traditionally to look at everything in terms of cost, as to I'll have to additionally incur this cost, how will it help, my profit margins will go down. But little they don't realize that this cost, what advantage it is giving. So they are only looking at the cost and not looking at the long-term advantages. So perhaps the way to look at this is you should have a differentiator like whether it's a cost or investment. Now, if it's an investment are generally there for giving you returns, and the returns are repetitive and they are ongoing, they are for a long term. So the moment you put it in the right slot of the expense, whether cost or investment, you will have your answers over there. The data analysis has to become an intrinsic part of any business process. I personally, in my view, out of my own experience, I'm saying without getting into the data analysis, no businesses can survive. This data analysis could be periodic, could be monthly, could be 6 monthly, or could be yearly. And all your major business plans and strategies need to be derived out of this data. You cannot decide your strategy based on your impulse or your assumptions or your feelings or your views that, okay, this should work and the way it is working. And many businesses have failed on that count. And ultimately, they have realized that nothing is more effective than having the actual data, the factual data, not the manipulated data I'm saying. Actual data will throw a light onto where you should lead your business into. So with that, I'm sure, I hope I have been able to touch upon a very, very important questions that you may be having. However, if you still have questions, like my colleague said, you can pose your questions now, and we will try and answer those questions now. Thank you.